Hey guys, I'm making this video to make you guys aware of technology that exists that can be used to wreak havoc on your life and even destroy some people's lives. Innocent, good people. Um, and I'm speaking from personal experience combined with research and in some cases observation. Um, the first thing that you guys need to know is that all of your communications can be um, manipulated, intercepted, and toyed with. The first thing that I want to talk about is Facebook. A lot of people already know that it's easy, that Facebook is being hacked, that it's very easy for the people that work at Facebook or maybe even in other places, I don't know. It's very easy for them to impersonate anyone. So if you're having communication with someone who you don't see face to face ever, then you might take into consideration that you may not be speaking with that person at all, and that it may be someone else. Now, why someone would do that, there's many reasons why they might do that. Maybe they're simply, when I say they, I'm talking about anyone who has access to this technology that I'm about to describe to you guys. It could just be anyone who has the money, anyone who has the means to access of this technology. It could be anybody. And they can also target you for any number of reasons. It absolutely, without a doubt, you do not have to be a terrorist. You do not even have to be a criminal. You do not even have to have said a single bad word about anyone in your entire life. In fact, you might be targeted by this technology because somebody considers you to be an asset to something that they're doing, or maybe they find you attractive, or maybe they target you simply because you are invisible. Some people think, oh, they'll never be targeted because they don't, they never do anything, they don't go anywhere, they're basically invisible, to society. Well, they might actually target you for that reason. So there really is not anyone on the planet who is immune to being targeted by this technology. It may simply be that you live next door to somebody that they're really interested in and they want to use you for covert surveillance or whatever it may be. You just don't know, and they could target you at anyone can be targeted. And my guess is that most people who are targeted don't know that they're targeted. So the first thing is, know that if you're communicating on Facebook, that it's very, very easy for your communications to be hacked into. Do not believe if you're getting any kind of hateful messages, consider the fact that it might not be who you think it's coming from. It could be from anybody. The second thing is they can obviously they can hack into your text messages on your phone as well very easily. It's so easy to do that. It requires virtually no effort at all. And almost anyone can hack into it. So just be aware that you may not be receiving text messages from the person that you think you're receiving text messages from. So just be aware of that. The next thing that I want to talk about is something that most people don't know about. and that is voice synthesis technology. You won't find it, if you find something about it on the internet, then that's surprising, because I have not found anything on the internet anywhere. The only person I've heard, the only person that I know of who's talking about it is me. If there's anyone else talking about it, I don't know who they are, and I don't know, I have not heard of them. I'm speaking from personal experience. I know that this voice synthesis technology exists because I worked in the entertainment industry, and I was around a lot of sound engineers, and one of them actually showed me the technology. Used a recording of a celebrity's voice and then played that celebrity's voice back, saying he asked me what I wanted this person to say, and then he made that voice, the celebrity's voice, say that. So I saw this technology in action, and it was also used against me prior to that. What happens is, if they can record your voice anyhow, anytime, anywhere. You can't prevent that. They have there is a laser microphone that can record your voice just simply in your home, in your own home. Or it can record your voice over the phone anywhere. Once they have a recording of your voice, they can plug it into the software and then play it back, saying anything they want your voice to say. The way that this technology is applied is through, well, probably in many ways, my personal experience for how this technology was applied against me to inflict harm, psychological harm against me when I was in my early 20s, was that someone intercepted a phone conversation that I was having with my mother when I was very young, and proceeded to tell me that I should do things that were not only immoral but dangerous, and things that I know that my mother would never, ever say. And so I know that someone was using my mother's voice and talking to me through the phone. So I'm here to tell you guys that you can be targeted for any reason whatsoever. You don't have to be somebody living in Hollywood. You don't have to be a criminal. You don't have to be any of those things. You could, anybody could be targeted for any reason. So just be aware that that technology exists. So if you're having a phone conversation with someone and they suddenly start saying things to you that don't seem characteristic of that person, be aware that somebody could be hacking into your phone conversation. And that's just a fact. That technology does exist. This video is not speculation. This is not a theory of mine. This is something that I know exists. The next thing that I want to talk about is even more secret, because I only know of one person who has talked about this technology, and she talked about it so briefly. She's now dead. Her name was I can't remember her name. I think her last name was Turner. I can't. Carla Turner. I think that was her name. She's the only person that I know of who has talked about the audio spotlight and the application of the audio spotlight. There is another YouTuber who had uploaded some videos about the audio spotlight, which I mirrored on my channel, so you can go back and you can see some of the technology videos that I've uploaded and actually see the audio spotlight for yourself in action. A documentary covered it. However, that audio spotlight is an older version, and although I don't know, I highly suspect that the version that they have now is much smaller, and probably even the size of a cell phone, maybe even smaller. And what the audio spotlight does is it sends a person's voice directly to someone's ears and not to the person around them. So it's basically like audio laser technology, so that they can project sound to you and you alone, and no one around you will hear that sound. So they could talk to you in their own voice, and make you think that you're hearing voices that aren't there, or they could do something even better than that. Some might say that this would even be more hazardous to your health, and that is that they can use the voice of the person sitting next to you, so that you will think that your coworker had said something to you, or your brother or your sister, your husband, your wife, your child, anybody. If they have this person's voice on recording, they can use the voice synthesis to make the voice say whatever they want, and then they can project that voice only to your ear. Now, again, this is not speculation. This is not a theory of mine. This is a fact. And I'm not just telling you about it. You can watch the documentaries that have covered and even shown you the audio spotlight and that it does exist. One of the applications for the audio spotlight is to intercept a conversation that is going on in the privacy of your own home, for example. Carla Turner, who is now deceased, had described a circumstance where she was having a conversation with her husband in her home, and they were two very innocent, hardworking civilian citizens. I think they lived in Texas or somewhere, just normal, average people. And she had said that she was having a conversation with her husband, and that she had heard her husband ask her a question, and she went to answer it, but then her husband heard her answer the question. So to explain this to you in a different, slightly different way, someone was using two audio spotlights in conjunction with voice synthesis technology, voice synthesis software. So one audio spotlight was directed at her husband, and the other audio spotlight was directed at her, so that neither one of them heard what the other heard. They only heard what they themselves heard. So Carla described, sweetheart, no, please stop. Sorry about that. Carla described her husband asking her a question, and it was in his voice, but her husband heard Carla asking that same question, and what he heard was in her voice, and neither one of them heard what the other heard. I hope you're understanding what I'm telling you. If you're having problems in your relationships and you're having arguments where this other person is claiming you said things that you never said, or vice versa, you're hearing other people say things to you that they're denying they ever said, then perhaps you may be a targeted person who is being victimized by voice synthesis software in conjunction with the audio spotlight. So I'm not here to have an argument with anyone. This video is not speculation. These are facts, and I'm simply on here to make you aware, and possibly even prevent some people from committing suicide, because that's what's happening. People are truly dying because of this software. So I'm out of time, and I will let you go. Bye.